I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. The area's school district leaders are hoping today's drenching rains don't negatively impact voter turnout as residents are deciding the fate of local school budgets and filling school board seats. Today's voting will put the state's new controversial tax cap to the test. School districts were restricted to present a spending plan that was either at or below the 2% tax cap limit. Area exceptions are the New Paltz, Highland, and Tuxedo districts, where budget proposals above the cap mean they'll need to be approved by at least 60% of the voters. Now, click back here at Record Online to get election results once the polls close tonight. A Town of Newburgh man faces up to 25 years in prison after a jury convicted him today of the near-fatal beating of his 3-month-old child. An Orange County court jury convicted 30-year-old Dante Martinez of felony assault and reckless assault on a child. The baby, who was left in Martinez's care, suffered a fractured skull, broken ribs, liver injuries, and brain bleeding during the incident last August. Prosecutors say the child will likely suffer permanent disability. It happened at around 6 p.m. Sunday. A suicidal Middletown man was threatening to jump off the Newburgh-Beacon bridge. While his distraught girlfriend and 2 children sat in a car parked on the bridge, Town of Newburgh police officer Michael Sissia began his attempts to talk the man down.
We approached him. We tried to establish a line of communication with him, and he just immediately climbed over the railing. He hung down. First he used 2 hands, he was hanging off, then he dropped 1 hand, so he just had 1 hand hanging. He was looking down at the water. We thought for sure he was going to drop himself at that point. I started talking to him, and then he lowered himself again for a second time, dangling himself. This time he kept both hands there, but he dangled himself again and pulled himself back up onto the walkway a second time. And then from there, him and I, he was finally responsive to what I was telling him. Him and I had a conversation. I'll keep that private between me and him. And, you know, I was able just to talk to him for a few minutes and was able to get him back over onto the street. Like I said, you could do everything textbook, you know, by the book procedures, and it may not work. So we just got lucky. You know.
The 49-year-old man was later taken to St. Luke's Cornwall Hospital for a psychiatric evaluation. State police in Ulster County say she was defrauding customers as a sales consultant for a food company called Tastefully Simple. According to investigators, Christina Burnett received orders and payments from people in Ulster and Dutchess counties, then pocketed the money, amounting to more than $4,000. The 39-year-old Red Hook resident was charged with grand larceny and scheme to defraud. Burnett was released pending a court appearance Wednesday. Newburgh community activist Omari Shakur was at odds with city leaders again last night. This time he forced the early shutdown of a city council meeting for refusing to stop speaking about the police shooting death of city resident Michael Lebhart. Mayor Judy Kennedy halted the meeting after Shakur ignored the public comment time limit. Shakur and members of the Lebhart family want the city council to request that a special prosecutor be appointed to handle the investigation of the shooting. The mayor says that will only happen if a higher power intervenes. And those who paid a visit to Jeffersonville Saturday were soaking up a little culture while strolling Main Street. Painters, sculptors, and quilters were among those displaying their talents during the annual Jeffersonville Art Experience and Chalk Walk. And as the name suggests, the event also featured chalk drawings created on Main Street sidewalks. Free chalk was available and prizes were awarded in 4 student categories. The opportunity to enjoy all these forms of artistic expression came courtesy of the Jeffersonville Main Street Association. We might have to wait till Thursday before we see the sun again. Wednesday will be cloudy with more showers in the forecast. The highs will reach the upper 70s. Thursday will be mostly sunny with temperatures hitting the mid-70s. Make Record Online your place to find news when it breaks and read all the news and features important to you in tomorrow's Times-Herald Record. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.